Just to take off from what we did. Just to take off from what we did yesterday. Yesterday we didn't actually dive into the website, went over the basics of stocks, what a stock is, a couple of key vocab definition terms and all. But today what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna dive into the website and give you some features, give you some important aspects of the website, how to use it, how to utilize it, and just kind of just teach you how to use it. So yeah. So first thing what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go over how to actually set up an account at the student portfolio.
Yeah, this. So I'm just gonna log out for the purpose that I can so we can re-see how to make an account and stuff.
Just sign out. So you say join us now for free. So student ThinkSabio, that's what you're gonna search up. You're gonna search up student.thinksabio.com/sign up. So once you go there, you're gonna enter your first name. Again, we're gonna use the same name. We're gonna use John Doe. So John first name, Doe last name. We'll use email J Doe. You're gonna use your student's email or your university email. But if you don't have either, then you can use your personal email as well. And then you're gonna type in a password. Accept the terms and conditions and sign up. And once you do that, then you're gonna get an email. So you can go to that inbox link and you're gonna click the verification, and then it's gonna take you through your account. And you have to provide just a little bit more information. So give you guys about a few minutes just to get that working, and then we'll continue on exploring to the website. If you guys have any questions, then just let us know and we'll answer them on the meeting. We'll probably just take like 2 to 3 minutes just to quickly set it up if you can. If you can, you can do it after the session too. That's fine. We're just gonna give a couple of minutes. If you wanna just test it out, you can. Yeah. I guess we can just make the account later. I mean, if you guys need to continue, you guys can continue. But after the session, you guys can make the account. But let's just dive into it. Let me just share the screen real quick. Yeah. So as soon as you enter ThinkSabio, this is exactly what you see in the beginning. So then you see ThinkSabio, you see under My Universe is exactly where you enter. So there's 2 sections here, the real portfolio and the virtual portfolio. So in the real portfolio, you can't actually invest. You can't actually, it's not like Robinhood, it's not like Fidelity where you can actually invest your money. It's just a simulator. So you can kind of simulate, for example, what you have in Robinhood, what you have in Fidelity. You can kind of simulate what you have and just put it over here. And the benefits of putting it in ThinkSabio is that you can just see you can kind of analyze your stocks and see everything in a much clearer, and it's more better to have it in ThinkSabio because you can kind of see it here. And you can also use the real portfolio to test it. There's as much limits as possible. You can make as many portfolios as possible. There's lots of other features here. We're just going to go through it individually. So here, this is your total invested amount, $95,000, and this is the current market value. So as you can see, we're down about $9,000, and over here it shows the percent, how much you gained today, shows the total invested amount, the current market value. And over here we have the graph for the past month. How's your portfolio been going? Has been, there's just a little graph here. If you go to a portfolio snapshot, you can see all your stock and you can see exactly how much percent you have in each stock. For example, JP Morgan and Chase, for that stock, I have 12.98% of that stock in my total invested amount. So you can kind of get a visual representation of what stocks you have and how it's going along. And as I was saying, you can make multiple portfolios, or you can have one portfolio, two portfolio, as many as you want. And this is just useful because you can kind of test out. If you wanna, for example, just test out with any amount of money, you can kind of put your money in and kind of just see how it goes out. We have an experiment that me and Anirudh did that will explain in the future classes, but I mean, it just uses the real.
Wait, excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, Abby. What's Robinhood?
Yeah. So Robinhood is like a stock investor. So you can kind of invest your money in Robinhood. So if you want to actually, it's not so ThinkSabio is not like a trading platform. So in Robinhood, you can actually invest and you can actually grow your money there. In Robinhood, they have like all these financial, all these terms where you can actually invest your money. ThinkSabio doesn't have that. You can actually grow your money on ThinkSabio. It's just about seeing the data here. Does that help?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So just continuing. So we have portfolio 1 and then portfolio 2. So then you can also make new portfolios if you just click plus, you can just give a name, PDF3. And and you can just add another portfolio, you can test out stuff there, it's up to you. So it's all up to you. I mean, a portfolio. So then just give it a second below. If you come down to stocks here, you have all your information here down here about stocks. You have all your symbols from everything you've invested in. You have all your quantity, you have your current price, you have your price change, you have the current market value for that individual stock, and you have your average cost, which you bought it for. These are all like normal, normal information you want to see. But the ThinkSabio, they offer, percent of allocation. For example, as we talked about last session, there's about 12 sectors in a stock. Healthcare, all these different sectors that stocks classify into. So this is the percent of allocation in that stock. And you can see that today's returns in a percentage. You can kind of, and you can also, use these filter buttons. For example, if you want to filter out. So today, ELP, this stock has made the most money for me today. You can kind of filter out exactly what you want to see, and you can see their company and all that too. So this is a good feature of stocks. And also, ThinkSabio offers a special feature called health check. So you can go through each of your stocks and see, what's the conclusion for each of them. Microsoft is magnificent, Apple is awesome, JP Morgan Chase is very good. So, and the way we get these conclusions are because each quarter, as we said, the institutions has to report to the SEC about what stocks they invested in, right? And we have about 6,000 plus institutions, and we have about 6,000 institutions worth of data. So we can kind of see how many of those 6,000 institutions have put money in Microsoft. For example, in quarter 2 of 2023, each year has 4 quarters. So in quarter 2 of 2023, 4,650 institutions have put money in Microsoft. And in quarter 3, that number decreased from 4,650 to 4,624. So that's why, it reduced by 0.56, but it's still magnificent because there's still a great number. So the way we come up with these conclusions is by using the quarter 2 and quarter 3 data, and we use the institution counts and all that. So for example, NVDA, it's just increased from quarter 2 to quarter 3. So that's why we say it's excellent. And we can kind of show the count change status has increased by 1.54%. And you can just see a couple of other features here: the current price, the year begin price, the year to date. So when it started from today, and you can kind of see the company and the corporations and stuff. And you can also view it for 4 quarters, for example. So if I want to see how this stock has been doing in the last 4 quarters, I can kind of go back from quarter 4 of 2022 to quarter 3 of 2023. And I can kind of see for the last 4 quarters, how has the stock been going up or going down. You can see NVIDIA here. It's been consistently increasing. So that's why it's an excellent stock at the moment. So as I was saying about sectors, there's different sectors in there's like healthcare, technology, financial services, utilities, energy. There's all these different sectors, right? So you can kind of see. So this all institution allocation is out of all the institutions we have, how many institutions have been putting their percentage in technology? How many institutions have been putting their percentages in financial services? How many have been putting in utilities? So the more you match the numbers, the better it is for your portfolio. For example, 20 to 22, it's almost similar percentage. So if you match each sector into each allocation, then you should be safe with your money and you can't lose it. For example, if you put all your money in technology and the technology sector goes down, that means you lose all your money. So this just kind of gives you like a reference about how you can manage your portfolio and how you can diversify your portfolio. Yeah, and there's also a watch list here. So if you want to keep track of close companies, for example, I'll just give an example: Tesla. You can just type a symbol in and then. Yeah. I mean, it could be any stock here. I think this works in the virtual portfolio. So this TS watch list actually only works in the virtual portfolio, but yeah. Yeah, also, so one more thing in the real portfolio, if you wanna add money, if you actually want to invest, I mean, you come down here and click add. And actually in the real portfolio, you can actually cheat the system here. Since it's just for you, it's just an experiment for you. It's up to you. You can kind of cheat the system if you want to. You can do in the virtual portfolio, but you can in the real. So you can kind of say, for example, if I want to do Apple, then you can go to Google and type Apple stock. And if you go to year to date, say you want to simulate, or say you pretend you bought in the beginning of the year, then you can go to the beginning and then see what price was Apple in the beginning. And here it's 125. So you can just come here and type 125.07, and you can say you put 3 shares of Apple. I mean, we already added that, but say it was just any other thing, then you can click submit. And what this does is you just successfully added a stock to your portfolio. So now you can just kind of see, so obviously it changes the portfolio and just changes the total invested amount and the market value. So you can kind of play around with that. So yeah, that's the real portfolio.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go over the virtual portfolio with you. So the virtual portfolio is basically very similar to a stock simulator, the way that these other apps give you a stock simulator. They give you a certain amount of paper money, or not real money, and you're gonna use that money to basically, simulate the real market. So the only difference between actually putting your money into the market and the virtual portfolio is the fact that the virtual portfolio is paper money, so it's not real money. So similarly to the real portfolio, it'll also have a watch list. So you go to the watch list and you see TS, you can look at these. These are the certain stocks that you want to have on your watch list, so you don't have to search for them. They'll be here for you to look at. Another one is if you go to portfolio, if you go back, you'll have the similar price movement and portfolio snapshot. And along with that, you'll have health checks. But apart from the health check, there'll be 2 other things as well, called the transaction history. So the transaction history will show you when you bought things, to make sure that you know when you bought something. And if you want to go back and simulate that on the real portfolio and get some information from it or experiment around, you can use that data. There's also a few other ones. And if I go back here to stocks, there's another thing that can be touched on, is the way to buy and sell on the virtual portfolio. It's a little bit different from the real portfolio. For example, if I want to buy Amazon, it's not going to allow me to cheat the system or change the price. It's going to buy it at market value tomorrow morning. So when the market ended, it was at 145.22. So if I want to buy 2 shares, for example, tomorrow morning he's going to place his order of 290.44 when the market opens up. And these are the funds that I have left available from my remaining $10,000. And this will give you because since you're looking to buy it now, it's going to give you some information about the last 4 quarters. So you can see Amazon, the last 4 quarters, from 4,005 of then to now, it's increased slowly over time. So you can use that information and do your due diligence and research. And this is how you, and again, if you go here and see, this is how you sell. So you can sell or buy. So I'm just going to buy it, review order. It'll make sure I want to buy it, and then I'll press OK. And another thing that you can do to play around with here is you can select your symbol. So if you want to look at one stock specifically, for example, if I want to see Tesla and how much I have invested in stuff, it's going to come up, show you the symbol, my quantity, current price. And if you want to focus on less information, you want to change the visibility of your column. And I don't want to see the date added. And I want to focus more on, today's returns, the percentage of allocations. I can get rid of these things. I can press submit, and it will change the format of the thing for me to look at it in a different manner. So that's the virtual portfolio. And so the way it's going to work is you're only going to be putting $10,000 in. And once that $10,000 hits, that's the maximum amount of money. But if you keep profiting, then you can use that money as well. But yeah, it's gonna cap out at $10,000 given to you. It's all paper money. So even if you're worried about losing your money, you don't have to be, because it's all paper money, all online. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So the next feature is going to be the TSU tiers feature, and this just goes off the virtual portfolio. So this uses the virtual portfolio data. So whatever money you're making there, we're just comparing you by state. and by individual as well to others across the nation. So you're kind of being compared to others across the nation. It's kind of like a competition. There's no like reward if you win, but you can kind of see where you stand among other people in your grade, other people in your state, other people in your country as well. So for example, if you come to youth heroes by performance by state, you can kind of see which state is leading, you know, which state has the most returns. See this. Yeah, so if we just go back to the TSU tiers, as I was saying, so it goes by state, it goes by country, but it also goes by individual. So you can kind of see how you rank up, how's your state rank up, you know, your initial investment, your state, how's your state doing overall compared to other states? And you can also see individual. So how are you as an individual doing across other individuals across America? So you can kind of see, you know, these are just like the top 10 total people, you know, how they're doing across. So for example, you can kind of see number one, you know, they've invested 4,600 and they've gotten back 39% of their returns. So right now their total portfolio value is at 11,800. So you can kind of see what grade they're in, what school their name is. You can kind of, you know, you can kind of see statistics, and it's just a good incentive to kind of see where you stack up, and you can also kind of see, you know, what stocks they have, what stocks they invested in. So you can kind of, you know, they've invested in Apple, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA. So you can kind of follow them and just kind of see what the high people are doing and how you rank among them, and it just kind of helps you as a competitive base, and also just helps you overall to kind of, you know, just get better and, you know, get better at the virtual portfolio, which is just what we want you to do. We want you to get better at the virtual portfolio, so you can kind of, you know, when you get the real portfolio and get real money, you can kind of just make more money off that. Yeah, you can also filter it by state. So if you want to see, you know, by state minimum invested amount, you know, maximal portfolio, you can kind of just see, you know, who's actually leading there. But yeah, you can also just sector it by total portfolio returns. You can also do it by grade. It's up to you. You can kind of play around with the data here.
Yeah, and then the last feature that we're going to go over for my unit for today is alerts. So alerts is something that we touched on a little bit yesterday, but it's about how you can basically place an alert based on what you want to see. So if I want to see an alert anytime that something happens within Tesla, then I'll put the alert name as Tesla. Alert 1. Right? You name it whatever you want, and the symbol that I'll place is again Tesla. And for example, if I want to see whenever the shares increase in Tesla, then that's what I'm going to do. And I want it for, let's say, $300. Any transaction that happens $300, or if I want to see, like, for example, because it's a company, right? Let's say $2 million. So anytime anything within $2 million in the fashion of increase happens, then I'll press apply. So that'll create an alert for me. So I go up to saved alerts. I'll have an alert for Tesla, and anytime anything happens with $2 million increase, then I'll get an email, and I'll also get a notification on the website. If I want to go by institution instead, so Fidelity, for example, then I'll put Fidelity as my institution. Follow. Let's say anything increased or decreased, right? And again, if I want to add any symbols that Fidelity deals with specifically, then I'll put that. And let's say anything within 5 million, then again, that's another alert that I can create. And the last one, another one for alerts is insider info. So I want to see any information that happens with inside the company. So as we said yesterday, if anything more than 5% happens within the company, the company is mandated by the SEC to report it within 10 business days. So for example, if I want to see, what's happening inside Tesla, it'll release that information to the SEC after 5 days. So if say Tesla Insider, and I want to see anytime anything happens with Tesla, for example, if Elon Musk chooses to sell off some stock or buy some stock, then that means something is happening inside the company that could help me based on my decision of whether to buy or not buy. So I'm going to put all Tesla and 5 million, any amount really that works. We put apply, and anytime that anything happens within Tesla, such as a higher up officer buys stock or sells stock, Elon Musk buys or sells stock, then I'll get a automatic email alert, so I can check my email, I see the alert, and I can know to change things or not change things.
But yeah, so that should be it for what we're going to cover for this session's ThinkSabio website. There's obviously the search feature, reports feature, and they're much longer and much more complicated. So we're going to go over them, next Saturday and next Sunday. So be sure to join those sessions. But while you're out, just try to make an account and try to explore these features. Just to reiterate here, real portfolio is you're simulating what you really have into your real portfolio, and the virtual portfolio is just for testing. You get 10K paper money and you're just testing there. So you can kind of play around with those and kind of see, you can kind of just get used to the website, kind of get used to looking at the data here and just try to just get used to it. But yeah, so next session is going to be next Saturday. It's going to be at the same time, 7 p.m. EST. So yeah, so just feel free to join those. And if you want to change the time or request time change, just let us know. We can kind of see what we can work with here. And if there's any questions, just let us know in the chat or just say it out loud.
So again, everyone, thank you for joining today. I hope you guys had a good time and you learned something about the website, and we'll be going, as you said, more in depth to search and reports. And again, thank you to everyone from India for waking up early and joining the meeting. But yeah, anyone has any questions, feel free to stay back and ask a few questions.